We got the Mighty Win here. Mighty Win, first of all, give me your take. What do you think of the match?
It was a game for me. This is obviously instant reaction. Looking back, it was a game of two moments. First was the penalty, and the second was the first substitution. In terms of the penalty, should Gordon have been allowed to take the penalty? And it's a game of risk and reward. If he takes it and we score, everything's hunky-dory. He's on cloud nine. He goes on to have the game of his life. Which, by the way, Gordon had, he was definitely one of our better players on the day. So the Goodison Park thing didn't faze him at all. He was up for it the whole game, had a great game. But the penalty was a poor penalty. And should he be allowed to take a penalty against England's international goalkeeper, who in training at Everton must have faced a couple of hundred penalties from Anthony Gordon? We know penalties are a mind game. He would have been able to read Gordon's mind. He knew which way he went for his last penalty. All of these psychological games, which we know actually that Pickford's pretty good at. Gordon's been telling us when he took the last penalty that he just blocks everything out. He goes into his zone. He does his thing. But should he have been allowed to take it? What was the reward greater than the risk, or was the risk greater than the reward? I personally, of course, it's 2020 hindsight because he missed. I think that the risk was greater than the reward, and somebody else should have probably taken it, who Pickford hadn't faced 200 times, and who, it would have been like a normal penalty situation where XG for penalty is 0.78. So that was the first moment, which you can debate. There's arguments both sides. You can debate it either way. It worked against us. The second was the substitution. It had been apparent from minute one that Murphy wasn't giving us anything. So for the first substitution, to leave him on the pitch and to take off Harvey Barnes. First of all, what's it saying to Harvey Barnes?
Yeah, well, you saw Harvey Barnes.
So that we'll discuss the substitutions in much greater detail. But that was the second moment for me, and then it became moment 3 and 4 with the other substitutions, which for me were just absolutely balmy. So that's my take. It was a game. At the end of the day, happy clapper mode. We've got an away point, which is always a good point in the Premier League, and it's a point, by the way, that we didn't get last season. So it's an upgrade on last season, which is a good thing. We've moved up a place in the table to 6th, so that's the thing. But in terms of that substitution, by the time that substitution was made, we had 40 touches in their box. And they'd had 5 in ours. The shots and the corners were, way skewed well in our favour. So getting to the box wasn't the problem. So how is taking Harvey Barnes off, who's one of the best finishers we've got, and replacing him with Miggy? How is... I just don't see the logic, Eddie. I'm sorry, I don't. I'm a massive fan, as you know. But that one, I'm afraid you got it wrong, kid. You got it wrong.